Good morning, 819S. Another cool one today. I think it's 22, 23 degrees out right now with a high of 27, so it's definitely good. And I think it's going to rain again the next few days, but for now, it seems like the number of days it's going to rain has shortened a little bit, but the weather forecast keeps moving around. And what I want to talk about today is owning a car and car share. So, in Japan, owning a car is pretty expensive. You can find reasonably priced cars, and you can do the maintenance and stuff like that yourself, but the shaken is every 2 years, and it's usually extremely strict. It's the reason why most people who might want to own a car might be a little bit more hesitant about it. I think a lot of people really fear shaken. They end up having to change tires, change brakes, do a whole bunch of maintenance that they might not have needed at that moment, but would make it better to pass shaken. I've heard in some cases, it's a very rare case, I think, but somebody said they needed to spend like $4,000 just to get their car to pass inspection, and it was basically all the maintenance things all at one time. So yeah, I think it can be prohibitive. And then there's tax too. Vehicles have to pay a road tax. Road tax can make it a little bit expensive, and I think it's based on the category of the vehicle. So for my scooters, it's like it's something cheap. It's like $20-30 a year, something like that. For my bigger bike, it's like $40-50 a year. It's really not too bad. I think it's a little more expensive with cars. I think it's based on the category of vehicle and the vehicle weight and stuff like that. I don't know the exact details of it. I just know that it's one of the things a lot of people complain about. Those dudes are carrying archery stuff, bow and arrows. Wow. So, as a way to kind of allow people to drive but not own cars, there are a few companies that offer car share services here. The big one being Times Car Share. You'll find a lot of cars with the Times Car Share logo on it. When I drive around, I see a lot of cars with it. And their system is really interesting. I think it's really smart for a city like Tokyo. Basically, where there's a car parking area like this, Times would usually negotiate with the owner to use one or two of the spaces to store a Times car share car rental. So basically they're paying for a long-term use of the space, and then customers can go there to pick up the car. That means that in Machida City, there's probably 40 or 50 different places where you can get rental cars. The system is even more interesting because the rental is based on 15-minute increments. So, if I need a car just for 30 minutes, I can go and rent it for 30 minutes. If I want one for 15, I can do that. But I think there's not so many places you can go in Tokyo or in this area that you can get there and come back in 15 minutes. It's pretty tough, I think. And I think 15 minutes for the basic class of vehicle is 220 yen for every 15 minutes, so that's 880 yen for 1 hour. Do I have my math right? Yeah, I think so. It's still early. As I said many times, I have not had my coffee yet, so I'm not awake. But it's very reasonable, and that includes insurance. That also includes gasoline. So the cars are equipped with a lot of different kind of sensors. So the main one being a sensor that unlocks the doors of the car. So when you choose the vehicle, choose the amount of time, choose the location and everything, that car is now reserved for you. You touch your IC card or your smartphone to the glass and the doors will unlock. It's pretty cool how that system works. And then once the doors are unlocked, the key is in a special electronically controlled lock in the glove compartment. So you open the glove box and then you can take out the actual key. Most of the vehicles I've driven with Times Car Share don't require you to use the key. It's one of those key fobs that is kind of wireless. As long as it's in the vehicle will start. But one vehicle I did use surprised me because I needed to actually start the car the old-fashioned way. Then you drive the car, come back to wherever you parked it. My understanding is you have to put it back in the exact same spot where you picked it up from. And there's sometimes a Times car share cone in the parking space, so when you drive away, you put the cone in the space to say this spot is reserved for this Times vehicle. Sometimes there's a sign that says for Times car share vehicles only. Yeah. You drive back and you return the vehicle, and then you're done. It'll charge your credit card. Really, really convenient system. Definitely allows you to use vehicles when you need them and not have to worry about shock end maintenance, tires, brakes, oil changes, all that other stuff. I haven't needed to do it yet, but there's also it's not a credit card, but there's a kind of gas card in the car. I believe it's usually on the visor. And you can take out the gas card and you can go to the gas station and fill up gas, and you're not using your own money or anything like that. I think that's also a pretty interesting system. There's the Edsel. It's a pretty interesting system because, yeah, I think a lot of people would worry about how much they'd have to spend on gas. The details of using the car get a little bit more complicated. But I don't know, the explanation I gave is a surface level example. One thing that I would say that makes it a little more complicated is you should always check around the vehicle and the inside of the vehicle before you leave to make sure there's no damage, scratches, dents, garbage inside, it's not dirty, it's not sticky, something like that. I don't know the mechanism for reporting it, but if you get in the vehicle and you don't report it, but you didn't do it, if you return the vehicle, the next person reports it, maybe it counts on you. So you should make sure you pay attention to that. Fortunately, I haven't needed to report anything, any damage or anything like that so far. And the other thing is the amount of time. So if you rent the car for, I believe, under 6 hours, then you pay by time. And then if you rent the car for over 6 hours, you pay based on time and distance. So the price gets a little bit more expensive if you're doing it that way. But it's still, again, more affordable than owning your own vehicle. And, it depends on what you're going to really need it for. And the last thing is booking a car. So, as you can imagine, weekends, people really want to go out and travel and have fun and hang out with their friends. And on national holidays, people want to go out and do stuff. On those days, the amount of available cars can be a little bit more limited, so you have to book in advance if you know you're going to use something way into the future. And the availability can change pretty quickly too, so if you look at the car now and it's available, you might check it 15 minutes later and it's already booked, and vice versa. So if you're really, really trying to get a car, you can keep checking a bunch of lots near your house or nearby where you need it and check again and again until something opens up. The disadvantage is you have to return the car where you picked it up from, always. I said that a little earlier, but I think if I could pick up the car in Machida and then drop it off in Shinjuku, that would be a little bit more convenient for me. The other thing I don't know the exact details of is if I drive to a place to get a car, can I leave my motorcycle in that car parking spot? It makes logical sense because that spot is reserved for that car. I'm the driver of that car. This is my vehicle, so I think logically it does make sense, but I believe that you can't. I need to confirm with the Times car people. That's always something I wanted to ask them. And as a result, I don't rent cars from them as much as I want because near my house there's no really close parking lots that have a available rental car or a Times car share or a car share car. So I have to ride my motorcycle to go get the vehicle. I have done it a few times. finding a parking space that I think might be acceptable is a little bit tricky, depending on where I am. The few times that I did need it, I was able to park my bike somewhere and then use the car without any issues, but I can see a few lots near my house where there's no available parking, and that would lead to a little bit of a issue. Yeah. Do you think car share services are interesting? Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And I think I'm going to wrap it up right here for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Ride safe.